Yeah.
Oh, so talk about pain. You have an embroidery company, right?
Yeah.
Seven Clay.
Mhm.
Why did that come about?
It's kind of like Orange Mud. It was innovation out of frustration was our tagline. And with Seven Clay, we have different taglines, make an impact. But the real root of it should be competition sucks, let's hurt them, and because that really should be my tagline. I have a product called the Transition Wrap. It's a changing talent seat cover, so it goes over your seat in your car, and we embroider club and team and store logos on the headrest of it. And we've embroidered hundreds of thousands of units. I don't know how many at this point, but a lot. And I had used numerous embroidery companies over the years, and I often argued with them. I'm like, I don't understand, what can't you trim the threads on these dang things? Because I had it was always a job for someone at my company, myself included, has been a part of this, of going in and trimming loose threads and burning all the loose threads because we have a zero tolerance to bad quality. And sometimes their stitch quality was okay, but it was the loose threads that made me freaking nuts. And
It's
then,
little things, as you're saying. It's like the
oh,
little
little
attention to
things.
details, like the
Yep.
care of the product and the
Yeah.
pride of craftsmanship.
Exactly. No, totally dropped the ball there. And then we had one logo for a big retail store called Fleet Feet. There's hundreds of them around the country, and
Yeah, they're
and
huge.
we've been making product for them for years. And I've used three different embroidery shops over the time. And every time I'm like, man, there's no way you can increase the thickness. I didn't know what to call it at the time, but I'm like, the kind of like I just don't want to see the towel through it. It's like white thread. It's very basic text and everything. And and so they would tell me like, "No, no, you don't understand." I'm like, "Well, why? I mean, it's just like a needle and thread. It's going back and forth. Can't you like make them kind of tighter?" And they're like, "No, you don't understand." And so when we moved our business to Texas in June of 19, I had tried to outsource, and I had a lot of work at the time to outsource, and I really struggled to get anybody to do my work. And I end up having a guy that he's like, I'll talk my wife into doing these for you. I'm like, what are you talking her into? I'm like, I'm paying you guys for this. It's not like I'm asking you to do free work. I'm like, what are
Yeah.
you talking? I'm like, I'm outsourcing a lot of value. Orange Mud would be a top customer in almost any embroidery shop, to put it in that perspective. And so I couldn't believe that I couldn't get a lot of these people to work with us. It just blew my mind. It made me very angry because I did not need another business. And but it was I hit a breaking point one day where I was not happy with the quality, and I spent $58,000 that day on an embroidery machine. I came home, told my wife, I said, "Hey, I bought an embroidery machine. It's going to be here in a couple weeks. My goal is to hurt the local competition. That's my sole goal. I want to put them out of business." And we've had three different shops around us go out of business, which good riddance. I was trying to give people work. And most of these people, they wouldn't call you back. They wouldn't answer the phones. They wouldn't answer their emails. And even if I did work with them, their quality sucked. Yeah, all these years later, it's comical because we quickly ended up adding another machine, bigger, fancier machine, more expensive machine, and then we added another of that same machine. And then people were like, "Well, hey, do you have? Can you do leather patches?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, probably, yeah, yeah. Let's place an order." And then I bought a machine, and then now I have three laser machines. And then people are like, "Well, can you screen print?" Yeah, yeah, probably. And then next thing you know, we bought screen printing and sublimation and all this stuff. And now, I mean, we even have full custom cut and sew in shop that we do in select projects, but we do medical device stuff and commercial stuff and whatever. And so it's funny how that business has evolved, and it became bigger. It took off like a rocket ship, and it became bigger than Orange Mud by year three. And the reason why is because I reached out to my digitizer and I said, "Hey, I just want this to be more dense than this. Can you do this?" And he's like, "Well, Josh, that cycle time is going to go from 2 minutes to 3 minutes and 20 seconds." And I was like, "It takes me 5 minutes to load the machine. So it can run in 5 minutes and that's fine." And he's like, "Oh, okay, sure. Here you go. Boom, fixed." That was it. It wasn't because I was a genius. It's just because I asked the question and I refused to accept some crap. Right. And that's the way everybody in my organization operates. We're still the same as we were in the very beginning of crap doesn't work. It just needs to be good.